What's up guys, Kicks by Mir here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is my interview with George Janko. I'm super excited for you guys to see this. Just want to again say thank you for all the support on the channel recently. Hopefully you guys like the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Go ahead and get started. Do you mind just telling everyone watching what the what you're into or like who you are, who George Janko is?
Yeah, so my name's George Janko. I grew up in Arizona, but I was born in Chicago. I always knew I wanted to be a performer. And, I just had to learn what I loved. And how like you always close your eyes and you're like, this is what I want to do. And throughout experience and, fighting fear, I think chasing your dreams is always a fear. And so I got really, really good at not being nervous and jumping in head first. And I think that is a really, really big part of my success so far, is that I don't look at things and get scared if I'm going to fail. I truly tell people around me that if you want to succeed, fail every day, multiple times. Because if you don't fail, then that means you didn't push yourself hard enough. And so I went to LA to do music. And then I realized right away that I was more talented in acting. And then in acting, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to chase down this dream of being an actor, but I first have to become relevant, because I would knock on people's doors and agencies and managers, and nobody wanted to represent me because I didn't have anything underneath my belt. So I was in this loop of I know I'm good enough, but I gotta prove it. And before I prove it, I have to have something underneath my belt. So it's just like this circle that it's hard to get into. And so I said, well, how am I going to show the world that I'm talented? And so I started, like you said, networking. I got to meet really, really unbelievable, talented social media stars that showed me that the internet's the future. And I remember calling my mom and dad and I said, hey, I'm going to try to be a social media guy. And they're like, what does that even mean? And I go, I don't really know. I go, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea, but I know that I think you can make money doing this. And so they're like, wait, you make money just posting on social media? And I was like, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't figured it out. So my mom and dad were like, listen, we'll give you 3 months and go out and try it. And so they helped me out. I obviously still had to work. My parents never really put everything on a silver platter. They always wanted to make sure that I worked for what I had. So there was a time where, sorry, my dog just went crazy. There was a time where I was working from like I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get to set around 5. I was doing extra work, finish around 11. From 11, I would shoot content with friends until like very, very late at night. So I was sleeping 2 hours, 3 hours if I was lucky, just because I used to always watch my dad always tell me, like, a man who knows how to work is always going to thrive. If your problem is not being able to roll up your sleeves or really just dive into hard work, you're always going to run into the problems of like not getting your work done or competing with other people. Because in any genre you're in, if it's business, if it's social media, if it's music, if it's fucking accounting, you're going to have people that are going to try to beat you in your work ethic. And so that competitiveness in me was like, no, I can't sleep because somebody else is doing it harder than me. And so I grew this work ability. And that's when I learned any industry, even the industry that I'm in, that's mostly talent, it's all about work ethic. You could be the most talented person on the planet, but I always tell people, if you're a piece of shit, nobody wants to work with you. And if you're not hardworking, it doesn't matter how talented you are, you're not going to show, and then you're going to be hard to work with, and people are just going to move on. So from this learning curve, I realized that I'm still learning. This is my favorite year in this industry. And all I kept telling my mom and dad while I'm here is I all the stuff that I knew today, I had no idea about last year. I had no idea. And so I truly feel, if you want to be successful, not only in social media business, But in any type of line of work, you have to humble yourself and you have to know that you don't know it all. And there's going to be 10, 20, 30 people that are going to outwork you. So you just got to put your head down and really want to learn and work harder than everybody in the room.
Yeah, that's definitely really impactful. I know like hard work is like, I mean, I think Michael Jordan was the one who said it first, but then Kevin Durant said it, like a bunch of basketball players said like hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So I think like it's super important to whatever you're doing, right? To just keep working at it like relentlessly. A little bit about like how I found out about you. So originally I found out about you through like Logan Paul, like
Yeah.
watching his content. But at first, like when I was younger, I absolutely like hated Logan Paul's content. But I didn't hate it because I didn't watch it. I hated it because everyone else in my like age group hated it, if you know what I mean. So like
Yeah.
the first video I actually watched of Logan Paul was his apology video after Japan. And I was like, this guy seems like he's really hurting from this, right? And so
Yeah.
after that, I started watching his content. I was like, it's a little bit like cringy, but that's what makes it like comedic and like fun. And then I saw you in some of those videos. I was like, oh, cool. And then once you came onto Impulsive, which I literally watched every episode, when you came onto Impulsive, I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to start watching you because your stuff just started coming in my recommended. And I was like, okay, I got to watch it. And I started watching your main channel content. And then I was like, this is awesome. But then I really like the idea of Bubba Town, like that channel. So I thought it was really cool how you have like the you don't really adjust the camera, it's just kind of there. And I thought like it's a really cool way of content that like not many people do. So, and I also like the way like your stuff's edited because I saw that you now have like Mo, the guy who edits KSI stuff editing,
Yeah.
and he's hilarious. I love his edits. But just in general, like that's how I kind of found your content. And it's not like I've been like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, I've been a fan for this many years, but I probably in the last like 6 to 8 months have like started like binge watching George Janko content. And I thought it's
Oh, I,
like
that
it's really great.
revamped my whole image, and it's funny because it took me. I've been in this game for I want to say 7 years. Obviously, 7 years being like a dirt, nothing, like straight
Mhm.
bottom. I would say 3 years of me like, okay, I am known as a social media star. Now, what do I do about this?
Mhm.
And this year, I honestly would say even 9 months from the birth of Bubba Town's drop, uh, is when I really got comfortable knowing who I was, and I knew that everybody's time's gonna fade, and if I was gonna go out, was I proud of my work? And I was watching it, and I wasn't, and so I had to take a step back, and I was like, all right, I've made the money, I've obviously got the recognition from it, but why am I not happy with it? And it was because I was doing my work for other people to be happy and not really necessarily what I found great. And the reason I didn't do what I wanted to do is because of the natural insecurity of like, all right, well, what if people don't like this?
Mhm.
What if people are that nobody's doing it? No one's doing the Bubba Town rigged shoulder where it's a fly on the wall. Nobody's doing
Yeah.
multiple channels while trying to be a stand-up. And it quite frankly scared me. And finally, I kind of beat the fear, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. And if it fails, at least I'm not gonna be the guy at the bar taking a drink, being like, what could have happened if I took my own?
Yeah.
And it was the greatest decision of my life because I got welcomed into Impulsive. My movie did well, and the writer, not the writer, oh yeah, technically the writer, the director, and the producers picked up my movie. We're working on that now. Joe Coy admired me on Impulsive enough for him to want to even give me the time to train me on stand up. And it all of this would have never happened if I didn't say, hey, this is the real thing. And so I really encourage people nowadays like, yo, there's enough fake people out there. There's so many copy and pastes, and I'm not mad at them. I was them for 90% of my career. I would do what the audience wanted me to do and what was cool, what was popping, what was trending, because that's how I learned how to become more recognizable and get my views to be up. But there's just gonna be that thing in the back of your mind and in your heart that you're like, all right, well, I already did it. You know, I got the recognition from it. Now I'm not happy still. I'm truly not happy of where my work is. When I watch my videos, I cringe and I'm like, and that can't be right. You can't watch your stuff and
Yeah.
cringe. And so now you're saying you've watched my stuff 6 months ago, and I promise my team's all here. They've all heard the same. My mom and dad says they've never heard our names be popped up just much, and it's such a cool. Could you get that out of his? He just popped that up. My dog just brought some stuff. You know, he dropped it. It's right over there. It's cool. It could be, honestly, having people like you is always a blessing, but having people like you for who you are is just a crazy blessing, because you're like, oh shit, this is actually me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is a facade, or
Yeah, it's not fake.
because an actor will play a different character, right?
Yeah.
But people know that's not him, that's a different character.
Yeah.
But it messed with my mind, having people see me and be like, oh, that's George Janko, millions of people. But I'm like, no, that's not how I am. And it's so funny, because when I was on the Impaulsive, I think I was there as like for a boys episode where I filled out about God.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating, like I think 50,000 DMs of people just being like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why are you hiding this individual? Like, this is the person that we fuck with. There's so many people that actually insulted me while complimenting me. They're like, yo, you're the most cringe person on YouTube, and now I fuck with you. Like, how did this happen? And so I like, now when people come up to me and they're like, yo, like, what's your one advice? I'm like, yo, you could lie to everybody else, but stop lying to yourself. If you're not happy creating the work you're making, it doesn't matter how much money and how much power you have, you're going to be miserable because you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think this year has been an incredible journey. And like, again, I said in the beginning, just humble yourself and keep cracking at it. You said that your teacher said the number one thing is networking, and it is. So you got to really be careful who you piss off. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever want enemies. I actually am dealing with something right now. I just let go of an issue that could have gone legal, and it could have gone all this stuff. And my whole team's like, yo, we won. Case closed. We would win. And I told them, throw it away. And they're like, well, I don't get it. Like, this guy just brought you so much hell and so much damage, and we won. It's done. Why are you going after him? And I go, you know what? Because he made a mistake, one, and I'm not here to judge and condemn him. And then two, I don't want to look over my shoulder. I don't know what he's dealing with in his life. If we end his career right now, we don't know if he's a good kid that made a mistake. We don't know if he's going to learn from it and be a great person one day. And then on top of that, do I really want to spend the rest of my career looking over my shoulder, waiting for enemies to like wait for my downfall? I'd rather have as many allies and zero enemies. No matter what you could do to me, the most you could do to me is create distance. Like, I could keep distance from you. Absolutely. We could wash each other's hands away from each other and just be like, yo, we're good. But I'm not going to talk ill about you. And you're not going to get into my heart for me to talk ill about you and destroy you. And in this industry, it's such a fast paced life, and everything you know, when you post a picture of whatever you like and thousands of people like it, if you post a video and millions of people resonate with it, it does something to your psyche. It makes you feel like you're greater than what you are, or you feel like you're some type of king or what.
Yeah,
I don't know.
An ego boost. It's like an ego boost.
Ego thing.
Yeah.
And so you really gotta just keep yourself around people that are gonna humble you. And that's why I absolutely, my biggest blessing is Logan Paul. And a lot of people think it's because he put me on, and it's not. It's because me and him will sit down and really dig at each other. Like, yo, I don't like how you did this, and that. He'll tell me, yo, you shouldn't do this. It's a nasty look. And I'll tell you why, blah, 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 blah. So you keep people in your life that will keep you grounded and humble. Logan Paul, I will argue, is the most recognizable face in the world. I could truly say every time we step out, I've never seen gathering in my life, but he's here. Before he was here, and look what happened. You know what I'm saying? But he needed that. And so I always tell people, don't judge somebody on their mistakes. Wait and see how they correct them. And that's why I don't come after people when they do me wrong, is because I know I've done several people wrong. So overall, I know I kind of just rambled, but
it's all good. It's all good.
Work, it's just a lot of different avenues. You know what I mean? I'm a businessman. I'm an entertainer. I'm a writer. I'm a friend. I work with the woman I love. It's all in one box, and sometimes it can get overwhelming and scary. But that's why you got to keep yourself grateful and humble. And I think in any line of work, if you could keep those two assets, I think you could conquer anything you look at.
Yeah, that seems like some great advice. And don't worry about rambling. I'm not gonna cut you off. I'm not Mike. I let this stuff go. I'm just happy to be here and have this conversation. So
Well, I appreciate you reaching out. It was my girlfriend's best friend, right?
yeah, well, so I knew someone in high school that's like kind of like looks up to your girlfriend's best friend as like a big sister kind of thing. Like they're really
Yeah,
close. So
yeah,
I reached out to the friend from my grade who reached out to her to reach out to Shauna. Right.
yeah. So you
So
did, man. You got me on the phone.
yeah.
There's a there's a a good chance I could have been too busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you made it work because you believed in what you had, and you came and you were prepared, and we had this whole interview. Not to cut.
If possible, I like to make you a thank you gift and make you a pair of shoes, if possible.
Yeah, dude, that's
Um,
a good way to network. So you said you paint, right?
yeah.
Come up with something fly, drop them off. You could reach out to Shauna again and get all that going, and then you could drop it
Perfect.
off for video, and that way, somebody that I supposedly you said you looked up to will be opening up a box that you created. And this
Yeah.
is a way to network and get your name out there as an artist and as a businessman. So I feel like this is a smart way to go
Perfect.
about it.
So if possible, what is your shoe size?
10 and a half.
Oh, same as me. Good. Do you like Air Force Ones? I'm sure everyone likes Air
Do I
Force.
like first ones?
It's all you wear, George.
It's all I wear, apparently.
Okay, perfect. Do you want me to show you mine?
Yeah.
Here's mine really quick. These are just like they're beat though, so I just wear them to a pulp.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, I do
mine.
wear.
So I got you. I'll make you a pair of Air Force Ones, and I will reach out to Shauna when they're done ready. It'll probably be in like a couple months because I'm still in school, so I'll try to do it when I'm done school.
Cool, man. I'm proud of you. Keep hustling.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Nice conversation, and hope to see you again in the future.
All righty. Have a good one, brother.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like it below and subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping that this video has a lot of success in terms of what you guys want to see out of the channel. And if you guys do want to see different kinds of videos on the channel or videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. Again, thank you for the support. See you next time. Bye.